And this portion of the KC Crew podcast is brought to you by MAC Cosmetics. Now, MAC Power Kiss lipstick is matte reinvented. Now, you like the color matte?
Matte is not a color.
Oh, what is
matte? Matte is a formula that your lips look dry as opposed to shiny.
I was going to say that. The new matte formula is where matte meets moisture, giving you the zero shine look of a matte lipstick with instant long-term hydration and a weightless, cushy texture.
Ooh, me likey.
All right, so head over to your nearest MAC location to meet your matte today or shop at MACcosmetics.com and shout to Matt. They gave us a lot of stuff for us.
Well, no, they didn't. Me. Did they really?
Well, for you and Matt, yeah.
How come you haven't shown it to me?
I got it. I got you.
Woo woo.
Well, head over to MACcosmetics.com. What up, y'all? It's DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And this is another edition of the KC Crew.
Welcome.
Yes, I want to say shout to you guys for emailing us and texting us and DMing us. And we get all your messages. And we just want to say we appreciate you guys for riding with us.
Yes.
Now, let's get it cracking. Now, my baby just got back. She was on a girls' trip. I call her Stella got her groove back trip.
Yes, you've been calling it that. But I had no groove to be gotten back.
No, but I just, we've been married 17 years.
I never lost my groove.
Never. And in a couple of weeks, 18. We'll be married 18 on May 13th. And, you've never had a girls trip, really. Like, this is the first time in, 17 and almost 18 years that you've went on a girls trip.
Yeah. I mean, you know what it is? It takes a lot for me to want to leave my husband and my family to go do something.
Right.
And there have been a lot of girls trips that come up, but I've never joined because it's typically hard for me to imagine leaving you guys behind.
Right.
And I'm always with you. I'm always with the kids, and I'm always imagining, well, what could go wrong? My babies are going to miss me. We talk to the kids throughout the day regularly. So to go away and leave all that behind usually leaves me feeling uncomfortable with just the thought of it. So I never usually go, but there was a special circumstance this time around that made me say, you know what, it'll be okay this one time. And I did go away a few weeks ago to celebrate my girlfriend's birthday, but that was only for a couple of days. This was, I was gone for about 5 days?
Yeah, about 4 or 5 days.
Yeah. So we went to Barbados, me and a group. It was 7 of us total. It was all of my closest friends in the world with the exception of 2. So my girlfriend Sasha and my girlfriend Dia didn't come, but my other 6 close girlfriends, we all went to Barbados to see Buju Banton perform. He's a reggae / dancehall artist, pretty much like from my childhood, like the 90s, like early 2000s. He kind of provided the soundtrack for a good portion of my life. I'm from Brooklyn. So, that kind of music is really heavy and prevalent. So I was ecstatic at the idea of going to see him, which was a gift from you. So thank you.
You're welcome.
For seeing that and setting that whole thing up for me. But I had a fantastic time.
Great.
I mean, I have a lot of fun with you. I have a lot of fun with my kids. This was a different kind of fun. I haven't had that kind of fun in a really, really, really long time. Like, let your hair down, let everything else fall out, just live it up, and just it was fantastic. It was fantastic. I really felt like I was in my element. I felt like I was 16 again. So it was awesome.
And I was surprised because you never go out, and the fact that
I never go out.
You never go out. You never go out with your girlfriends. You're the type of person that you say, yeah, I'm gonna go out Friday. We're gonna leave at 10 o'clock, and then at 10 o'clock, I come home, I'm working out, or I'm downstairs, and you're in the bed like watching television. Like, well, what happened was you never go out. So the fact that you went out was kind of surprising. And what I wanted to have a conversation about with you this week is insecurities.
Where'd that come from?
I'm explaining. I thought my insecurities were over. Right?
Okay.
And meaning, like, I've had insecurities. We talked about it on the podcast. I was an insecure person way early in a relationship, and I thought I was over that. Like, it was one of those things where I don't care. But
well, when you're talking about insecurities, you're talking about pertaining to our relationship.
Correct.
Okay.
Correct. So when you go out, I still feel away.
What do you mean?
All right. So we had not an argument, but a conversation when you went to Miami, right?
No.
Now, I'm going to explain to you. You probably don't even remember.
I definitely don't remember.
Just know that Gia and I have a relationship where we tell each other pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Right? And the reason I say pretty much is because sometimes I just honestly don't remember. Or sometimes she doesn't remember. And then we'd be like, oh, did I tell you this? No. But like, we're the type, like, if a dude kicks it to Gia will call me and be like, yo, this dude just kicked it to me. You got to hear what his game was. His game was this, that, and the other. We'll talk about it. And laugh,
now I know what you're talking about.
We'll have those conversations. Or if something happens to me or I see something or I'm out and about and something, I will tell Gia immediately. It's like, I don't really care. Let's say I'm at, I don't know, let's say I'm DJing a strip club and a stripper climbs to the pole and she does a trick. I will call Gia. First of all, I will videotape it. I will videotape it and be like, Gia, check this out. You know, that's how we are in our relationship. I mean, to the point where if Gia is into something, let's say Gia is into Snoopy blankets, right? And the only reason I'm saying Snoopy blankets because she has one on now. And there's a lady on the plane with a Snoopy blanket. I will take a picture of the Snoopy blanket.
You'll sneak a picture.
I'll sneak a picture and I'll send it to you. That's how we are.
Yes.
Like, regardless. And I'm
like best friends, for real, for real.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's funny. I'm sure people will see me sometimes like, well, why is he taking a picture of this? I put it to the point where, let me tell you how crazy we are. If I see a chick with a fake ass or a fat ass, I will send Gia a picture and be like, look at this. Right or wrong?
And I'll send back a crazy hands emoji.
Right. But that's how we are.
Like, it looks good.
Right. But that's how we are as a couple, you know?
Right.
I mean, she doesn't send me no pictures of no eggplants or nothing like that. But that's how we are as a couple.
Mm-hmm. If I could take it from behind, I would. But I would have to be facing him to do it, so I couldn't get away with it.
Don't
or else
send me
I
no
would.
Damn pictures of no damn eggplant.
Or else
I don't want
would.
to see that. But anyway, what I was saying, so Gia was out in Miami, and
I know what you're about to say.
And usually when people kick it to Gia, Gia is the type of person she wants to see how far it's gonna go.
What?
Let me explain. Meaning, if somebody has horrible game, Gia will entertain it because she thinks it's funny. What's so funny?
Because it's pretty accurate.
It's accurate. So if somebody kicks it to Gia, like, you know, somebody might go to Gia, hey, what's up? Tonight I got a table at whatever at Tao tonight. You know, it's sold out, but I got a table. You want to join me? Like, Gia will be like, join you? Okay, well, what kind of table do you have? Like, Gia will entertain it just to see how far the game goes, and then be like, well, I'm sorry, I'm married. Unless you're gonna invite me and my husband, you know, that like she's that type, and then call me later, be like, yo, you gotta hear this dude's game. He was this, that, and the other. So Gia was out in Miami, and this dude kicked it to Gia, right? And I got in my feelings.
Like, really in your feelings?
I did. I got in my feelings. I got in my feelings because the dude was kicking it to Gia. He said he had a table at a club, and Gia was talking to him, and then, you know, Gia told him, I'm married, this, that, and the other. But Gia was like, yo, you had to hear this guy's game. Like, dudes be leading with money, not even like, hey, how you doing? It's almost like...
Well, that's what was funny to me about it. And that's why I entertained it. Like, he was flashing his money, what he saw as his position, the fact that he had a table and, you know, he kept putting like his watch in my face while he was talking to me. And it was all about money. And he thought that was impressive.
Correct.
So it was interesting to me. But human behavior... period is interesting to me. Right. So when you can experience it firsthand and, you know, have your thoughts about it afterwards, I kind of get a kick out of that. And that is true.
Right. I didn't get a kick out of it. And usually, I don't know, for some reason, I just didn't. And
which I didn't understand.
I didn't understand it either. But it just bothered me. Like, he is telling me, you know, hey, yo, I was, you know, checking into the hotel. This guy came up to me, was talking to me, and he's from here. He does this. And I was like, how the fuck do you know so much information about this motherfucker?
That's exactly what you said to me.
Right, but that's how I felt.
Well, you communicated how you felt.
It wasn't
lost on me.
It wasn't even like, hey, this guy kicked it to me. I was this, that, and the other. It was like, yeah, he's this. He works here. He does this. He's going to the club at this time. He has a table. It's so many. I'm like,
no. Well, I didn't run down the list of facts.
Well, you
I
explained
told
to
you
me what happened.
How the conversation progressed.
Correct. And I felt like, how the fuck do you know where he's from, where he was born, where he works, what kind of car he had? I was like, how?
Okay, so I didn't know what kind of car he had. Why are you?
I'm exaggerating a little bit.
You're going too far.
But it was too much information, and it bothered me. I was like, why the fuck do you know so much information? And he was like, well, you know, we just had a conversation. I was like, I don't like that. And he was like,
no, you didn't say that.
What did I say?
You acted like a child.
How did I act like a child?
You're like, word? That's exactly what you said. I'm going to repeat it. You said, word, I-A-A-I-G-H-T.
Okay.
And I said, I'm sensing like a change in the energy. Is there something wrong? And you're like, no, I'm good. I'm good. You know what? Just continue. Enjoy your day. Enjoy your day, babes. I love you. I said, what's like, speak your mind. Like, clearly there's something wrong.
Right.
And I'm not quite understanding. If you feel a way about something that I said, you need to communicate it to me, because obviously something rubbed you the wrong way. And I don't want to do that again. Let me know how you feel. You're big on communication. You're always preaching communication. Communicate with me.
Right.
Don't be a baby now. You would not tell me.
Right. And
you didn't tell me. We ended that conversation.
I'll tell you later on. I told you later on.
You wound up, but it was because the next time that I spoke to you, there were still remnants of an attitude.
Correct.
And then the next time I spoke to you, there was more remnants of the attitude. And then I said to you, does this have something to do with the guy that kicked it to me in the lobby? And you proceeded to tell me that it was.
Right. And now this is where, well, first of all, I apologize. I apologize for that, did I?
No.
Oh, well, I'm sorry for acting that way and overreacting.
You never actually apologized. I mean, I didn't take it to heart as though, we are the king and queen of apologies. An apology always needs to be rendered. But in this situation, I didn't feel the need for an apology. I felt the need for an explanation. I more or less just wanted to know what bothered you and where you were coming from, because that's kind of our steez. That's what we do. Like, if a girl kicks it to you in a club, or if a girl comes and, shakes her ass for you in front of the DJ booth to get your attention, you tell me.
But you know what?
Like if a stripper comes up to you and rubs her left tit on you, you tell me. And I usually think it's funny. And I'm there for the story. I tell you my little fun story and I catch an attitude.
But you know what?
I was a little confused.
You know what bothered me? And the funny thing about this is, Gia and I are talking, and I'm the king of wanting to know why. So, for instance, if I'm DJing, let's say I'll just say the strip club because you said a left titty. If I'm DJing a strip club, right, and it's light, let's say it's light, doesn't really happen. But I'm pat myself on the back. Doesn't really happen. Me DJing a light club, but every once in a while it happens, right? And let's say I'm waiting to get paid, or I'm at the booth, and let's say a dancer comes up to me and says, "Hey, MV, how you doing? I love you and your family." I'll have a conversation because I'm curious, right?
About what?
What got her
popping
here?
Popping the lock?
No, not the popping the lock and the twerking. What got her there? Like, why are you dancing? What got you into this area? How, do you have a 5-year dance plan?
And listen, there's a lot of girls that would be upset that you were curious.
Right.
Or that you had that conversation.
Right.
Or that you entertained, another woman's attention.
Right.
Or that from afar, it could look like Envy's talking to a stripper.
Right. And that's just it. And that's the problem, right? So I fell victim of social media and caring what other people thought, right? Mm-hmm. All I was thinking, right, when you're telling me the story, damn, you're in the lobby, you're talking to this dude. What happened if somebody comes over and takes a picture? Or what happened if somebody walks by and be like, damn, I seen Envy wife talking to some nigga? Excuse my French. That's what came to my mind.
Oh.
I was more concerned about the other people than what really mattered. Mm. And I'm not usually like that. So I don't know what it was that day. Maybe it was something online. Maybe I seen something on TV. But that day, it just didn't sit with me.
It bothered me that me talking to another guy could be... Excuse me. It bothered you that me sitting there talking to another guy could have been misinterpreted as something more than it was?
Yeah. That's what bothered me.
Yeah, you shouldn't care. I don't care.
But
if you're in a club and if a girl comes up to you and wants to take a picture, if a stripper wants to come up to you and tell you her life story, I don't care. You can talk to whoever you want, whenever you want, under whatever circumstances, and I'm cool with it. Like, it doesn't bother me. I don't feel insecure about it. I trust you.
Right.
So there's no issue.
Right.
And I would like to think that you trust me, but now I'm confused because you led this conversation talking about I felt insecure, which isn't really gelling and lining up with what you're saying right now. Right now, you're saying that you didn't necessarily like the way it may have looked from afar. But at first, you said it had to do with insecurity. So which one is it?
It's both. See, for me, insecurity is thinking about what other people are going to be, how other people are going to take it. It wasn't a matter of, oh my gosh, I think my wife's going to cheat on me. She's going to leave with this dude. That wasn't my insecurity.
But you know
my
what?
insecurity was more of, damn, how is it going to look? And I'm not even going to say I shouldn't. I don't care how it looks because I know what it is. You understand what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But for that moment, I thought about, damn, how is this going to look?
You got me looking crazy out here in these streets.
Right. But it gets back to the point where I don't care. I know what it is. And I let my insecurities of how it's going to look cause a divide or cause me to have an attitude.
Yeah, and you had an attitude for like days behind that.
I know. But that's what I'm saying. I apologize. I'm sorry.
So,
but I'm a man at the end of the day. But, and...
This has to do anything.
I mean, I don't know. I just wanted to say that. I have insecurities. Shit, I don't know.
So let's just be clear. So you're not insecure about me.
No.
And what I may do.
No, not at all.
Okay. Because it kind of felt that way. That wasn't
the
impression that you left.
That wasn't. I don't care about that. You go out.
Like when I told you, and the one thing that you're not really telling the truth. Now that I'm trying to recall what happened, you did say that you didn't like the fact that for however long the conversation took place between me and this guy, that for that amount of time, he thought that he had a chance with me.
Right. Because let me tell you something. And this is how I break everything down. If I'm having a conversation with you and I think I have a shot with you or a chance, it's a different conversation. Like if I'm just talking to you as a friend, people walking by and everybody knows that we're just talking as a friend or whatever it may be. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm kicking it to you, it's a different conversation. For instance, right?
But people standing beyond it wouldn't know what kind of conversation. I
think people can see what conversations look like and how people are
based
talking.
On like the energy.
Based on the energy, right?
Off. Okay.
And if somebody's kicking it to you, they're kicking it to you. There is a different type of energy than somebody saying, "Oh my gosh, I love you and your family," this, that, and the other. For instance, right? Mm-hmm. Now, I just want to tell you guys this. This is not going to happen again. So if you see Gia out and about, don't ask her shit. All right. And this is the reason why. You ran into two individuals at a club and they said they love you. They said that they heard that your husband was doing a seminar and you invited it to the seminar, the real estate seminar.
Oh, yes. Mm-hmm.
Right? Now,
same weekend in Miami.
Right. Same weekend in Miami. Now, that conversation was different. I didn't have a problem with that conversation because they knew what it was and they were talking about real estate. So I know that conversation wasn't about, hey, why don't you come to my table? I got this table. Yeah, my name is
Rico Suave.
My name is Franz or whatever,
whatever.
That conversation is different. Like, oh my gosh, I love you. Yeah, your husband's doing a real estate seminar. I would love to go, but I can't afford it. Oh, you gonna put me on the list? Oh, thank you so much. Yes, my name is so and so. Please put me on the list. Da-da-da-da. That conversation is different than I'm saying, I got a spot.
So you're saying it just gives off like a different vibe.
Type of energy.
Okay,
and people
what you're saying.
will see that energy.
Right.
If I'm just talking to somebody, we're just talking and it's not no seductive and I'm not having my Rico Suave voice on, it's different than me saying, hey, this, that, and the other. Mm-hmm. So when you were having the conversation, you were enjoying him kicking his whack game, so you're letting him go.
Well, it's not necessarily, I wouldn't necessarily put it that way. I'll put it this way.
Okay.
Whenever someone kicks it to me the right way, I will always give them the time of day because it's a matter of respect. Mm-hmm. So if I'm walking down the street and someone's like, hey, ma, I'm not going to turn my head.
Okay.
But if someone comes up to me nicely and pays me a compliment and asks me my name or asks me where I'm from, I will indulge that. I will say, oh, my name is Gia. Oh, where are you from? Oh, I'm from New York, or I'm from Jersey, or, whatever. Oh, what are you doing down here? Oh, we're here to see the blah, blah, blah. We're here celebrating the blah, blah, blah. What about you? Oh, I'm here for this. I'm here for that. I live here, whatever it is. Okay. And then it usually pretty much excels from there.
Right.
Okay, well, I thought X, Y, and Z about you. I wanted to know if maybe I can get to know you, or maybe I can take you to lunch, brunch, breakfast, come see you one day. et cetera, and so forth. Oh no, I'm sorry, I'm married, but I hope you have a great trip or whatever. It was nice talking to you. And then I move along. It's a matter of showing someone respect. If someone takes time out of their day to stop you and pay you a compliment and just maybe ask you a question or two to see if there's any chance of getting to know each other, then I have the amount of respect and decency to at least have that little 30-second conversation or whatever it takes. I will never walk past someone that approaches me decently. Someone that doesn't know how to act or is disrespectful or, hollers out, something inappropriate or whatever, I'll walk by them all day. So for me, that's what I was trying to tell you. When I came downstairs, I wasn't checking in. I was actually checking out. And checking out of one room, checking into another because, our reservation got switched and I was trying to rectify that. So he was with another receptionist doing the same thing. So I saw him looking at me. I knew that he was going to kick it to me. And then he started the same way.
Right.
A nice compliment, whatever. And then when he started kicking the whack game, as you put it, that's just when it got kind of interesting.
Correct.
Under any circumstances, he was nice through and through. So I wouldn't have just bounced on the conversation.
Right.
I'm never going to hit you upside the head with, well, I'm married, so why are you even talking to me? It's ridiculous. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So you just follow the conversation through. He said everything that he had to say. To me, it was funny. At the end, I told him that I was married and I was going to be at the club at my table regardless. I didn't need to sit at your table. I have my own. So we might bump into each other. If you do, shoot me a holla, type thing. And I did see him later on at the club, but that was pretty much it.
Right.
And I think that went by very decently. So I gave you more details of parts that I thought was funny about it. And you hit me with an attitude.
Correct.
I let you have your little attitude. Usually I would have, wanted to talk it out, but I had places to be and people to be with. So, I didn't really have the time to really try to drag it out of you like I typically would have. But then a couple days later, you finally did tell me what your issue was. And, I guess you can put it under the category of insecurity, but it's not the type of insecurity that I thought that you meant when you began this conversation.
Right. But, so I just want to say I do apologize for that.
So it's okay. So if someone pays me a compliment and tries to kick it, it's okay if I
don't care. I'm
respond decently.
I'm secure
to
in my
them.
relationship and I don't care what somebody posts or if somebody, I don't care. I know what it is.
Okay. Well, you know that I don't care. So we're on the same page.
Okay. All right. I just wanted to get that clear. And I wanted to apologize. Effective natural skincare products are essential. With ProCure, you can feel better about feeling better. Their products are powered by science and enriched with nature with guilt-free formulas that really work and you can trust. Their products contain no parabens. What's a paraben? Is it a paraben?
It's a bad thing.
Okay. Paraben, alcohol, petroleum, or fragrance. They just use proven remedies and natural botanicals so you get all the medicine you need plus skin-loving ingredients. Now, if you want your skin to shine, look good. Now, I ain't gonna lie, you got some of the prettiest skin I ever seen in my life.
Thank you.
Which I don't understand. But you your skin looks better now than you did when you were 16.
Really?
Absolutely.
Oh, thank you.
All right. Now, try ProCure's Hydrocortisone and Rosa Care today and get a special $3 discount on Amazon using the code 3KCCrew. Just go to procureheals.com/KCCrew to be directed to Amazon where you get a special $3 discount with the code 3KCCrew.
Don't forget that code.
That's the number 3 plus KCCrew, all one word, and make sure you type it all in caps, all right? That's procureheals.com/KCCrew, code 3KCCrew now. And I also want to thank Shortman.
Oh, yes.
Shout out to Shortman. Shortman is a DJ that is from Brooklyn. I used to DJ with him all through the city. Me and Shortman got into a little beef. All right? You didn't even know that.
No.
Me and Shortman got into a beef. It was some DJ beef. Yeah, I've been DJing since I was 17. And
younger.
Early on, me and Shortman used to do a lot of parties together. He plays West Indian music. So sometimes they would put me and him on the same party. I would DJ the hip hop and he would DJ the reggae. So a couple of times I would get to the club and he would play hip hop. And I would get mad because I'm like, yo, this is my set.
Right.
So it got to the point where me and him just weren't seeing eye to eye and really didn't like each other. But I didn't like him. I don't even know if he knows. And then I didn't see him anymore. I stopped doing shows with him and I didn't see him. And then they booked me for Bahrain. Bahrain is out in the Middle East, and Short Man moved out to Bahrain.
Right.
He did a show out there, and I guess he loved it, and he was making so much money he decided to stay.
We talked about it a few podcasts ago.
Yeah, so when I went out there, I found out that he was out there. So I was like, you know what? After I DJ my party, I'm gonna go check him at his party. Just because I was like, let me show him love. He's a New Yorker. I'm sure to mean a lot to him for me to come and check him. So I went there to see him, and he was just so amazed. Like, oh man, you really came to show me love. You didn't have to do this. I appreciate it, yo. Whatever you need. And we kind of reconnected because we were cool before that.
Right.
And all that old shit just went out the window. So I told him, I said, hey, he was telling me, he's like, yeah. See, I don't know how Barbados came up that you were going to Barbados. He was like, yeah, I'm going to Barbados. I said, yo, my wife is going there. I said, yo, do me a favor. I said, when you go, can you please look out for her? I said, I'm not going to be there. I said, she's like my child.
What?
You are. Like.
What?
Yes.
What?
Yeah, like you're like my child.
Okay, pause. What are you talking about?
I have
like
to do
your child.
I have to do everything for you. Put the Wi-Fi on right now. What's the Wi-Fi in the house? What's the Wi-Fi in your car? What service do we have on the cell phone? Exactly. You're like my child. I have to do everything. Okay?
Hold on. Hold on. We got this conversation has to take a little left. I realized the severity that comes along with what you just said during this trip.
What do you mean?
Because this is the first time, well, really the second time that I've been away from you.
Correct.
And there were so many things that I couldn't do for myself.
There you go.
Because you do everything for me.
Oh, yes. I do. So like I said, you're my child.
I felt like an invalid. Like I got there and I'm like, so can I just like use my phone? Or do I have to like get a service to get international service? Or like, what am I supposed to do? Can I just dial out? Am I going to be charged separately for that? Or does it just comes along with my plan? Or then I get a text from our server that says that for $10 a day, I can text and call and everything. And I'm like, okay, but does that include like internet? Like, cause usually we land, you take my phone, you press some buttons and you're like, here, you can use your phone. Right. I'm like, thank you. And there's just so many random things that I'm like, wow, like I need to get my life together because I'm so used to having you. And I mean, in this situation, it really is spoiling me because spoiling is the right term to use when it ruins somebody because that's what spoiling is all about. We've talked about that with our kids, the fact that I don't feel that they're spoiled. In this situation, yeah, I feel like I'm spoiled because it really ruins me. Right. To the degree that I got out there and I'm like, there's a few little things I don't know how to do for myself that I had to ask my friends. Like, yeah, so this whole Wi-Fi situation, right? And they're looking at me like, you really don't know?
Like, bitch, it's 2019. You don't know?
And I'm like, no, like literally, like I'm always with Rashawn and he does like all this like technical, either him or Madison. Right. If something goes wrong with my phone, either he or Madison is going to take care of it and then going to give me back my phone and it's going to work. Right. That's the only thing that matters. So, all right, in that sense, I'll take the whole I'm your child thing.
Yeah, you're my child. So I told him.
I'm about to grow up, though.
Oh, yeah, all right, whatever.
Okay, go ahead.
So I told him, I said, look, my wife's going to be out there. She's my child, so please take care of her.
You wanted him to get my Wi-Fi and fix my service?
No, I knew you were going to a concert, and
no, I know.
I know that, you might, things might get crazy. It's another country, so I was like, yo, just look out for her. Right. And when he got out there, he did. He didn't even know, he never met you before. I guess he's seen you and he approached you and yes. took care of you. So shout out to DJ Shortman. If you know Shortman, tell him I said I appreciate him.
He's adorable.
Absolutely. Shout out to little Shortman.
Like he is really cool people. Like he really looked out in ways that he didn't have to. He wasn't obligated to, just on the strength of being cool, dope human being. Really, really appreciate him. Absolutely. So a little shout to him.
Absolutely. Now, I don't know if we're going to have time for an email this week.
Why not?
Because I want to talk about something else, right? So
you got a lot on your mind, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
So me and you kind of I wouldn't say got into it, but we kind of got into a situation with our son Logan.
Oh.
Logan went to have the spring break last week, and he went to LA to visit his uncle and aunt, right?
Sasha and Rashid.
Mm-hmm. And when he was out there, he flew out there. First, when he went to fly out there, I paid for a first class seat.
Oh.
Right? Paid for a first class seat. Now, Logan is 15.
Wait, hold on. Someone's just busted into our room. Oh, look who just walked in.
I just texted him. That's why.
Oh, I'm like,
come here, Logan. Sit
I'm
right
like,
here.
what's the chances that he would walk in at this moment?
Okay.
Oh, Daddy summoned you?
Yeah, I called him.
Oh, wait, hold on. We
First
have
of
to
all,
readjust.
Mom was mad because you didn't say hello to Mom when you walked in today.
Yeah, hold on. You came in and you didn't even say hello to me. When you came in from school. Yeah. Yeah, because I was in my room. What do you mean? You didn't come say hello? You didn't come and check? Why would you think that I wasn't home? I was home last night, right?
When the door is shut, that means Dad's sleeping.
So you thought Dad was sleeping and I wasn't home?
Yes.
Typically, you would call or text if you don't want to disturb Daddy.
Close the door first. Close the door
There's all
first.
types of noise coming in from downstairs.
All right. So let me tell you the situation with Logan. So Logan was going to visit his Uncle Rashid and Auntie Sasha in LA. So I purchased him a ticket to go. And
Yes, Daddy's telling that story.
I paid extra money for his ticket. Now I want you to sit up right here.
Sit next to Daddy.
Now,
scooch over.
You decided. Now, what happened when you got on the plane? Let's talk about you going.
Now just state your name and your age.
You're going to LA. Go ahead.
Logan, and I'm 15.
Now, what happened on your way to LA when you were on the plane on a ticket that I purchased you?
I was being a nice person, and I gave it to somebody else who wanted to sit with their wife.
So a guy came up to you and said, "Hey, little kid, my wife is sitting next to you, and I want to trade seats, right?"
Correct.
Now, you traded your seat, which was a window seat, for what?
A middle seat.
5 rows back.
Correct.
Why?
To be nice.
To be nice. So you gave up your good seat for a guy that I paid more money for to sit in the back of the plane in the middle?
Correct.
You know, I will never buy you a good ticket ever again. I'm going to put you in the back of the plane every time.
You never told me the importance of the seat.
Okay, so he did that. So that made me upset. So I was pissed off about that.
Well, first of all, he gives up the seat. He moves 5 rows back. He's sitting in between 2 people, and then he calls. And he's like, "Hey, Mom."
No, he doesn't say call. He says, "Hey, you want to hear something funny?" I'm like, "What's up?"
Wait, that's what I was about to say.
Oh, you want to hear something funny? I'm like, "What's up?" He was like, "Yeah, I was sitting in the seat, and this guy, he asked me."
He did not sound that dumb. Stop it.
I swear
I was on the phone.
He said, "This guy, Dad."
Logan, you didn't sound that dumb.
He said, "This guy, Dad, wanted to give me this guy wanted to sit next to his wife, so I let him sit in my seat." I was like, "Really?" I said, "Where are you sitting now?" He goes, "I'm sitting in like 6-7 rows back in the middle seat." I said, "So you gave up a ticket that I paid for to sit in the middle seat next to a bathroom?" "Yeah." I said, "Get the fuck up and go get your seat back."
You sure as hell did say that.
And he's like, "Dad, the plane is taking off. We're moving." I said, "I don't give a shit. Get the fuck up."
Then you said, "As a matter of fact, get up and go give him the phone."
I said, "Yeah,"
because I'm about to curse him out because he saw that you were a little kid and he tried to take advantage of you. He's going to take your good seat where you have a window to sit next to his wife and then give you a shitty seat in the back of the plane.
Yep.
And then he said, "Yeah, Logan, he saw you coming."
I told him, "Put that bitch in the back." Excuse my French, but I definitely told him.
But that's real talk, Logan. Like, that's the whole thing. Why didn't they ask the person that was sitting next to the wife to switch with the husband? To switch with the husband so that the husband could sit with the wife. No, they saw a little kid and they said, "You know what? We're going to get him and we're going to take his good seat." That's exactly what they did.
Not street smarts.
So we tried to get Logan to go reclaim his seat.
And I said no.
And he said no.
He said, "No, he's taking off, Dad. No, Dad, I'm fine,
No,
Dad.
but then you know what else he said?
Guess what? That seat had a TV and the other one didn't.
It
They
did
all
have
had
a
a
TV. We had this argument before. He told me that the seat that he gave up didn't have a TV.
No.
It's a hidden TV.
It's a hidden TV.
It's
You
a
paid
hidden
for that.
TV.
It's in the middle."
I didn't know. No one told me.
All right.
But that's the whole thing. You should have, like, that kind of falls under the category of common sense. You're sitting in the front of the plane with the window. You give up that seat to go sit in the back of the plane in between 2 people. That's the least desirable place on the entire plane. Nobody wants to sit in the middle. Nobody wants to sit in the middle.
Okay, so he got over that. So Gil was like, no, well, babe, he was just being nice. That's fine.
I said, you can't condemn him.
You can't condemn
because you
him.
wanted to all the way curse him out.
Absolutely.
And I'm like, you can't condemn him for being nice. He wanted to help this couple out. How many times have we been on a plane and needed to sit together and someone gave up a seat, but they never gave up a better seat. They gave up an equal seat.
So
Logan, I was actually proud of you.
Thank you
for doing it.
Thank you.
All right.
So then I said, okay, I won't curse his ass out.
Part 2, I wasn't proud of you about.
So then he stays in LA for 5 days, and now it's time for him to come back home, right?
It wasn't my fault.
Be quiet. I'll tell you. I'll let you say your side. All right. So now he's on his way home. He gets to the airport 2 hours early. He checks his bag in.
Checks in. Goes to security.
Goes to the gate.
Calls me. I say, Logan, just do me a favor. Go up to the person behind the counter and let's verify that you're at the proper gate and that you're sitting where you need to be sitting.
All right. So now put your phone down. Now explain what happened.
So he pointed me.
Okay.
You can hold the mic.
Okay. He pointed me.
Talking to the mic, bro.
He pointed me in the direction in which I was going to board the plane. I was sitting there waiting for my flight, and he pointed me to the wrong gate.
So let me tell you what happened. This is how I figured out what happened. Right.
Well, first of all, there was a terminal change, correct?
And a terminal change.
Because that was a big point in his story. There was a terminal change. So he goes to the correct terminal. And for some reason, he thought that because there was a terminal change, that the time of the flight must have miraculously changed as well, even though he wasn't advised that the time of the flight was not changed.
No. I was at gate 59 and they're like, okay, you're at gate 55A. So I went to gate 55A and I sat there right in front. There's 2 gate 55As, and what sense does that make?
Okay, there's not 2 gate 55As. There's a 55 and a 55A. So now let me tell you what happened, because now I figured this out, right?
Okay.
So your son, they said there was a gate change. 55A. He walks over to 55A. He puts his headphones on because he had headphones on.
I didn't have headphones. No, I did not.
He didn't have headphones.
So he was playing his games on his phone.
He was playing his games on his phone.
Then what were you doing?
He was definitely on his phone.
You definitely weren't staring. You weren't
watching videos.
Okay, so you were sitting there watching videos.
Watching videos on his phone, right? So now he was watching videos in his phone, not paying attention. They boarded the whole plane. Now, mind you, the flight from JFK to LAX is always full. It's at least 100 people that board that plane. So there's 100 people getting on that damn flight.
Right.
He don't see not one person get on the flight, right?
Sure didn't.
Hold on. Not only that, when he checks the fuck in, right? When he checks in.
Why did he have to check in so aggressively?
Because when he checks the fuck in, when you check the fuck in.
Okay.
Awesome.
Let me tell you, when you check in and you're not on a plane, they call your name. Logan Casey to gate 55. Your plane's about to board. This motherfucker didn't hear that either.
Come on, Rashawn.
He didn't hear that either.
You're so aggressive.
I don't care. So wait. So then.
They didn't do
You turned 15 and then all of a sudden you could get cussed at.
Yeah, absolutely. Hold on. Let me finish. So then. He doesn't call me.
Of course not.
I didn't call you. I called Madison.
He calls Madison, who's in school.
And Mom.
I don't know what the hell Madison was going to do.
I was like, Madison, I missed my flight. But
So then he calls Mom. And Mom calls me and says, your son just missed his flight. And what did I say?
Good for him.
I said, good for him. Not only did I say good for him, I said, leave. I said, don't call him. Leave his ass there. And you said,
I hope his next flight isn't until another 8 hours.
I said that, right? Because and I know people out there like, you're mean. No, I'm not mean. And this is how I look at it. He's in the airport, so he's safe. Nothing can happen.
Right.
Nothing can happen.
He's in the safest place in America.
He's in the safest place in America.
Right. You're checked in, you're safe.
I told Mommy to hang up on your ass and let you figure it out.
I was good. I talked to the guy.
You was not good. Mommy talked to the guy.
That was the guy who pointed me in the wrong direction too.
Oh, it was the same person?
Yup. There's one that I was sitting at.
What was his name? Terrence. His name was Terrence.
Yeah.
That works at LAX. Thank you, Terrence.
I was sitting directly in front of it, and there was one in the corner. So then when I recognized the flight number, and then I heard it's closing. So I was like, what? So I stood up and looked around, and I saw there was another 55A in the corner. And I was like, oh, shoot, I ran. And they're like, the gates are closed. And they wouldn't let me in.
All right, but let me tell you why this was all your fault.
Was it?
Let me explain to you why this was all your fault, okay? Your flight time did not change.
How was I supposed to know that? Dad didn't answer the phone.
I tell you what.
Let
me tell you why. Let me tell you why.
Airport.
You're at the airport.
And you were in the meeting.
I'm supposed to know your flight?
Yes, because I don't have the app on my phone.
But
All you do
Logan,
is look at the screen.
Logan,
There was 3 different screens that had JFK to New York. 59.
whichever way, Logan,
See?
did you not have a boarding pass?
Yes, one that was
Hold on. You had a boarding pass.
Yes.
Your boarding pass has all of the information on it.
On like the paper one?
Yes.
I didn't have that. I had
Okay,
the phone one.
so then your phone one has all of the information
Has the flight number
on the
on
phone
it.
one.
Flight 323 to New York. All you have to look at
It
the
has
board.
all of the
Flight 323.
I was supposed to be
information.
at gate 59.
Excuse
Why
me.
they change it to gate 55A?
Whichever way,
My goodness.
that change, I'm sure, was on your
We should have
phone.
left his ass
Hold
there.
on.
The change wasn't on my phone because my.
Okay.
No, change wasn't on his phone. 'Cause I gave him a
Regardless.
picture of it.
Excuse me?
I gave him a picture of it, so the change wouldn't happen on the phone. He doesn't have the
Oh,
app.
he doesn't have the app.
He doesn't have the app.
Okay. Whichever way, did you know what time your flight was supposed to leave?
Yes.
Okay. Did you know what time your flight was supposed to board? Go ahead and say yes. Say yes. Just nod your head and say yes, right?
Yeah.
Right? Okay. I believe your flight was supposed to leave at maybe 10:19,
Correct.
which means you were supposed to board around maybe 9:40ish.
Sure.
Right?
Yeah.
When the boarding time came and went, the little light bulb should have gone off in your head that said, you know what? I'm supposed to be on that plane.
But the bulb in my head said, "Oh, I'm looking at the screen. No one's boarding. There's no one in front of me, but there's a bunch of people around me. I asked the guy. He pointed me here, so I'm here. I'm waiting."
So you
And
were
it has the
happy.
correct time.
So you were happy to be sheep.
Yes.
I'm just going to do what everybody around me is doing.
We have to get him a new light
I'm
bulb.
not going to take any responsibility for myself. Logan Casey is not going to make sure that Logan Casey is okay.
ask
Okay.
questions?
Logan Casey's okay with what everybody else around him is okay
I
with.
was fine with
and
it.
that's foolish.
No, it's
You were
not.
fine with it, which is why the plane damn well left you. You should have gotten up when you saw that 9:40 came and went and you didn't hear any signals regarding boarding. You should have said, you know what? Let me get up and go talk to this kind gentleman. Hold on.
did.
So I can find out for myself what is going on. And you did not. Don't you be a dirty
He
liar right
told
here.
me
We already
where to
had
go.
this conversation. But when the time of boarding came and went, did you assert responsibility and say, you know what? Let me, Logan Casey, find out what's going on because I need to know what's in Logan Casey's best interest. Forget about all these people around me. I don't know what's up with them, but this flight should have boarded. No. Did you get up and go speak to anybody? Just shake your head and say
No.
no. You
Sure.
did not. That was your bad.
No, it's
and
not.
Yes, it is.
I
That
was at
is
the right
your bad.
gate.
That's not
I
reasonable.
was sitting in front of the right thing.
And you
They changed
also
flight.
and you also knew what time you were supposed to board and you knew what time the flight was supposed to leave. When you called me, it was like 10:04. Okay? Your flight is supposed to leave in 15 minutes and you're not on that plane and you don't see anything wrong with that? And you call me to say, "Hey mom, what's going on?" Like, come on.
You should have left his. Like I said, you can leave
So
now.
then
I don't want
what
to talk
I
to him no
did
more.
was
You want to talk to him
I
more?
even called her. I called you at 9:50 and talked to you.
it wasn't 9:50, it was after 10 o'clock. It was like 10:04.
And why didn't you call me?
Because I didn't want to.
Why did you call me? Why did you call me?
Why you didn't call
Nobody
Daddy?
called me.
We were in a
No,
meeting.
no, you should have called me. You called.
But you're not psychic. You didn't know Daddy was in a meeting.
You told me.
You could have called me. You didn't call me. You didn't reach out to me. You didn't text me. You didn't say nothing. Why didn't you call me?
Text you. I said, "Dad," and you don't answer my text. And then when you see my text, you ask me something totally different because you just mind my text. So I called Mom, who is on her phone 24/7, and Madison, who's on her phone 24/7.
I tell you, we should have left his ass in the airport. I told Mom to leave your ass in the airport and let you figure it out yourself.
I
So
would have accidentally spent $3,000 on a plane ticket.
How was you gonna pay for it? You don't have no money.
I would have showed them the account.
Show them what account.
Any account I could.
You don't
he's
have no
tapped
account.
into all of our accounts for Sean.
Yeah.
He could have definitely bought a flight if he
And you know what?
tried to.
And you know what I would have did? I would have said fraud alert, and they would have arrested his ass. I would have got his ass locked up. He'd have went to jail, and I wouldn't have came and got him. Your uncle would have had to get you. I don't want to talk to him no more. You can get out. I should have.
But what
left
I
his-
did was I asked to speak to Terrence.
Bring me something to drink, please. Poland spring water,
I asked to speak to Terrence.
sparkling water, please.
And I told Terrence, I said, listen, my son is a knucklehead. This is his first time flying alone, and he completely missed the flight. I said, I'm sure you can understand the stress that I'm under right now, worrying about him flying standby for the next flight. I said, because if he's not guaranteed on that flight, he can be stuck in the airport by himself for another 6 hours. And I don't know what the status of those flights are. I said, can you see to it that he is placed on that next flight, not standby? And he worked a little bit of magic and whatever. Logan wound up getting on the next flight and he came home safely. And it was only a couple of hours that he had to wait. But it was a good lesson for him to learn.
Yeah, I would have left his ass in the airport, let him figure it out on his own. He would have learned that day. He's 15 years old. He's about to be 16 this year. He would have learned himself, I got to figure this out on my own. He was playing that damn video game, watching videos, not paying attention, and missed that flight. His ass would have been in that airport all fucking day.
Ew.
8 hours sitting there, pissed the fuck off.
Nasty.
Eating motherfucking, because at LA airport don't have much in there.
He came back bearing a Poland Springs sparkling water and a baby.
Hey, Brookie Choo.
Hey, Brookie.
Come here. Come say hi. Come say hi. Come say hi to the people. Come say hi.
No, come here.
Come say
here,
hi.
baby.
Say hi.
Hi,
What's your name?
Brooklyn.
What's my name?
Brooklyn.
What's my name?
No.
What's daddy's name?
Michelle.
There you go.
Wait, hold on. Let me see if she knows that. What's my name?
Mommy, Daddy Casey.
Mommy, Daddy, Casey.
Mommy, Daddy Casey.
All right, baby. Get out of here. Love you.
Love you.
I got an Easter bunny.
You got an Easter bunny?
Easter bunny.
Bye, baby.
She's
Mwah.
eating chocolate.
I see. Close the door, please. Anyway, but we should have left his ass there. With more than 70 sizes, including their signature half-cup sizes, Third Love designed bras with breast size and shape in mind for perfect fit and premium feel. Just answer a few simple questions via Third Love's Fit Finder quiz to find out your perfect fit in 60 seconds. Then, thanks to Third Love's 100% fit guarantee, you can wear, wash, and put your bra to the test for 60 days. Third Love, now there's a perfect bra for everyone. So right now, they're offering our listeners 15% off your first order. Go to thirdlove.com/KCCrew now to find your perfect fitting bra and get 15% off your first purchase. That's thirdlove.com/KCCrew for 15% off today. Mother's Day is right around the corner. So if you want to get something for mom, wifey, your fiance, your wife, thirdlove.com/KCCrew.
All right. So I'm going to compel you to do an email, regardless of time. We got nowhere to be.
Okay, we could do an email. Okay, let me see. This is I thought this was funny. My fiance thinks it's a problem that I want sex more.
Ooh.
What's up, y'all? My name is Tracy. How y'all doing? Me and my fiance recently had our second child, and I've been okay with not having sex because I know it takes time to heal. Well, now our baby is almost 3 months old, and we might have sex once every other week if I'm lucky. I recently mentioned it to him. I recently mentioned to her that we should try to find opportunities to do it whenever we can if the kids are sleeping or watching TV.
Wait. So
Tracy's
this is
a guy.
Oh, I was just confused.
Let me redo it again because I thought Tracy was a girl too.
Okay. I just had to
Yeah, I was
readjust.
like, her.
What?
Me and my fiance recently had our second child, and I've been okay with not having sex because I know it takes time to heal. Well, now our baby is almost 3 months old, and we might have sex once every other week if I'm lucky. I recently mentioned to her that we should try to find opportunities to do it whenever we can if the kids are sleeping or watching TV. Her response was, we can't because that might wake them up or come walk in on us. I said, okay, well, I guess we can just have sex once a week for the rest of our lives. She said, well, maybe we shouldn't get married if that's not enough for you, saying if it's just about sex. As if I was wrong for wanting it more. I told her that it didn't make sense for us not to get married because of that. She said, well, that's not enough. You might cheat. That's crazy she would even think that because I have never given her a reason or even cheated on her. Am I wrong for wanting sex more than once a week? I'm 28. She's 25. We used to have sex all the time. Okay. Now, there's a reason I picked this one.
Okay.
And we'll get into that in a second. But why are you looking at me like that?
Because I'm wondering what your reason is.
Let me tell you now or later?
Whenever you see fit.
Madison came in and had a conversation with you. And we'll talk about that in a second. If I was you, Tracy, I would just, you got to understand one thing. When a woman has a baby, they go through a lot. There's a lot of changes. There's hormones. There's healing. There's this, there's that. Give her a little time. Don't just stick the dick in her all of a sudden. Oh my goodness. You got to give her a little chance to heal. She's been through a lot. Like just imagine, having a 9-pound baby come out your butt. Like that's pretty much what it is. Like you would be scorned. Like you wouldn't want nothing coming out your butt for a while. Like give her time to heal. Give her time to feel back like she wants to feel. Right now she's in a motherly mode. Give her a little chance and opportunity. Get a little Aveeno lotion and jerk off if you want to do it every other day, and then give it a penis where she needs.
Okay.
So that's what I feel. You got to give her a little time to heal. She had 2 children. She's just not in that zone right now, and you have to understand why. She just had another baby. Another life came out of her. You got to give her a little time to heal. Okay. To get back to feeling sexy.
He has to give her time to
What do
heal.
you think?
You know what? I don't really get that feeling.
What's that?
I don't really get that it's the whole healing situation, because for me, and I can only speak for me, but I've done it 5 times, and 3 months after having a baby, yeah, you're pretty good. Unless she had a C-section.
Well, we don't know, but you're a hornball. Like you are a hornball. Like you are horny all the time. You want to have sex all the time. That's you. Some people might not be like that.
I think that even if I wasn't a hornball, as you put it, I think the interest in sex, just the baseline interest in sex, would still be there, even if I didn't want it all day, every day. But unless she had a C-section, and I never had a C-section, so I can't speak on the healing process of that. But I could imagine that if she did that 3 months later, you would more than likely not be all the way back to yourself. It might be painful externally. It might be painful internally. I don't know. But let's just take for granted that maybe she had a regular vaginal delivery. It didn't take me that long to get back on the horse. So I don't necessarily think that it's that per se. And what gives more credit to that train of thought for me is the fact that she said, well, so having sex once a week for the rest of your life won't be sufficient, which means that she just kind of doesn't really want to have sex more than once a week.
Or she's a little attitudinal and just doesn't really give a fuck what she says right now, because people say some things out of being mad or spiteful. She could be like, I just had this fucking baby and you're talking to me about sticking your penis in me. Give me some time. And he might be like, well, I just don't want to have sex once a week. Well, then maybe you're going to cheat on me. Maybe we shouldn't get married. And that's how arguments happen. And you know that.
So you think that might have just been some slick talking?
Absolutely. Some anger talking.
It could be. Or it could be that she's just not about having sex more than once a week. I have a girlfriend who is going through something similar. But with my girlfriend, the reason why she doesn't, and she's a hornball too. She's a hornball. But the reason why she doesn't want to have sex that often, as a matter of fact, we just got off the phone talking about this, and I was trying to kind of, help her through it a little bit and give her my point of view. But she's tired all the time because she works a lot.
Correct.
So as much as she desires her husband, she just doesn't have the energy.
She's tired, right?
To put into it. And she's like, look, I can't be an acrobat every night. Like I can't go from missionary to, back shots to, being on top to, one leg hanging off the bed to standing over here to laying over there. She's like, it's too much. It's too much. It's too much. My oral, his oral, it's too much to have it every night. And he wants it every night. And I'm like, I understand that. And you guys definitely need to have a conversation. I said, well, what seems reasonable to you? And ironically, she said, like once a week. And my response to her is, well, you need to change your hours or you need to grab a Red Bull. Not really. I actually don't think that Red Bulls are good for you. I'm not endorsing Red Bulls, but you guys know what I mean. You need to grab a Red Bull, 5-hour energy. You need to get your stuff together, because once a week for 2 young people that are in a committed relationship, in my opinion, doesn't cut it.
Right.
And that's just my opinion. If you're in love and you find each other attractive and there's passion and there's desire and there's chemistry and the time is suffering, I think that you find a way to figure it out, because I think that people underestimate how important sex is in a relationship. And it's not just because of the physical gratification, but because it has so much to do with connection. You know, when you're intimate with somebody, there's a bond that is being created or that's being cultivated or that's being continued between two people. And when a relationship lacks intimacy, then not only are you losing out on that bond and that connection, but you're sending subliminal messages to your partner.
Right.
You can subliminally be telling your partner that I'm just not that into you. I'm not that attracted to you. I don't want you that much. I don't desire you that much. And that can hurt someone's feelings, number one. Number two, it can create an insecurity, which, you know, pretty much aligns itself with self-doubt. And when there's self-doubt and insecurity, it's like having a gas tank that's depleting gas. And what happens when your gas tank is depleting gas? You go to the gas station and you fill it up.
Right.
And when people feel neglected or as though they're not enough for someone else, they might go somewhere else to get that gas tank filled up. Is that okay? No. Is that right? Of course not. But it kind of goes hand in hand with human nature. Every single person wants to feel wanted. Everyone wants to feel loved. Everyone wants to feel desired. Even if you look in the mirror and you don't see the most attractive person looking back at you, it's a drug. It's something, it's amazing to know that you have somebody that sees you, maybe not even the way that you see yourself, but the way that you want to be seen.
Right.
So giving the person in your life that attention and that confidence and that physical gratification, it goes hand in hand. And to be honest with you, I see it as a responsibility. I see it as a responsibility. As long as you don't have a physical condition or a physical ailment that prevents you from participating in sex, as long as there isn't an emotional issue between you and your partner that's preventing you from having sex, maybe they've cheated on you, maybe, you know, you're hurt and you're not able to get back in that emotional space where you can have sex with them comfortably, or any other host of relationship problems that might have transpired where you're not on the same emotional page as them. Okay, that can be a hindrance to having sex. But if everything is copacetic, everything is cool, and it's something like you're tired, well, then you know what? Maybe you find an opportunity to have sex during the day. Or you know, you try to change your schedule a little bit, or, you know that, well, he gets off early on this day, so I'm going to make it my business that instead of running these errands that I usually would run, I'm going to be home and we're going to be intimate then. At the very least, you make an effort. At the very least, you try. So if a person, the male in the relationship, the female in the relationship, to me, if they're not doing their part, then... And like I said, I'll say it again, as long as there's nothing else that's going on in the relationship that's putting up that speed bump, that roadblock, that hurdle, then it's their responsibility to fulfill those needs.
Okay. And I agree with you. And maybe that is a conversation, but I also think maybe you should give us some time and see what that is as well.
Right. But if I were you, I would go about it by having a conversation and telling her how you feel. So I don't know if it is just physical for you. I don't know if it's making you feel some kind of way, but you should sit down and have a conversation with her where you tell her how you feel about it, and just make sure that if it is physical for her, that you do give her time. But if she's having an attitude or if it is slick talk, that you talk that out to you both so that you both get to where you need to be.
Absolutely. Now, before we leave, Madison came in here to have a conversation with you yesterday.
Was it yesterday?
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Now, just tell the people what that conversation was, because I thought it was pretty funny.
So she comes in here. Wait, no. It was
Monday.
No, it was
Tuesday.
Oh, yes.
It was Wednesday, actually. Yeah, it was Wednesday because you came in Monday night.
So she came in here yesterday morning.
All right, so let me tell you. So Gia was gone for 5 days. So when she got home, we got it in. got it in, right?
Got it in.
And our window was open. And we have what do we call Eric?
He's our friend, live-in handyman. He's our live-in handyman slash friend
slash security. Right. So we have the window open and he's outside. He's outside late at night. It's like
so I didn't know he was outside.
It's like midnight. He's outside with the dogs. He's playing with the dogs, feeding the dogs. Like Eric does a majority of the house, the majority of the work at night. He's always outside at night. He's everywhere. So anyway, after Gia and I got it in, I was like, "Yo, I said you were loud." I said, the window was open. Gia was like, "I'm not loud. I try not to make noise." I said, "Okay." We just left it at that. So then the next day, go ahead. Now what happened?
I said I try not to make too much noise.
So go ahead. So
that's what I said.
So Madison, go ahead.
So Madison comes in the room first thing in the morning before she leaves her school. And she was like, "Mom, I'll just have you know that I do not go to bed at 10 o'clock. And I said, "What?" She was like, "I will have you know that I do not go to bed at 10 o'clock. I said, "What does your bedtime have to do with me? Like, what's this conversation about?" Mm-hmm. She said, "Remember that comment that I left about you guys making me want to puke? Well, I heard you guys going swimming last night and I don't appreciate it." I said, "What?" She said, "Yes, I was studying for chemistry. I told you I had that big exam and all I heard was like, I don't need to hear what you heard. I don't need to hear what you heard." She said, "I just want you to know that I think that's very inconsiderate and you guys need to wait until all of your children are asleep." I was like, "Yo, get out." I couldn't even face her at that point. I was just like, "Get out. Just get out. I don't want to hear any more about this." So while I was away, I posted a picture just of me in a bathing suit. And you left a comment that said,
"Wear that when you get home."
Yeah, "I want to see you in that later tonight," right, or something like that. And I responded by saying, "Why? We going swimming?"
And I said,
just me being my sarcastic self. So Madison... No. And then you said, "Yeah, I plan on going swimming." And Madison saw the comments and then she left a comment saying that was going to make her puke. So that's what she was referring to. Right. But yeah, I was like hella embarrassed.
That's funny.
I was hella embarrassed.
But anyway, so I just wanted to tell that story. I thought that story was funny.
Oh, and sidebar, just relating to the last email. If you're 3, how's her other child?
I don't know. She didn't say.
But if you have a toddler and your toddler walks in on you while you're having sex, as long as you're like under the covers, it's not the worst thing in the world.
Yeah, but we don't know. We don't know if it's
I'm just saying.
5 or 7.
I'm just saying. So anyway.
All right. Well, it's time to get up out of here. And let me tell you guys, I know a lot of you guys have been hitting us about the real estate seminars, and we have added, we're doing one in New Jersey in May. And then in June, we're doing one in New Orleans and one in Chicago. So if you guys want to come on out, just click the link in my bio and you can get all the information. And look forward to seeing you guys. And also the car show is September 7th. My birthday car show is going to be amazing. I can't wait for you guys. Get your tickets because this one will sell out. It sold out last year and will sell out this year. Get your tickets for the car show. It's going to be like a huge family day. So I hope to see you guys. All right, well, we'll see you guys next week.
Yes.
I'm DJ Envy.
And I am Gia Casey.
And that was another edition of the KC Crew.
Toodles.
And this portion of the KC Crew podcast is brought to you by MAC Cosmetics. Now, MAC Powder Kiss Lipstick is matte reinvented. The new matte formula is where matte meets moisture, giving you zero shine like a matte lipstick with instant long-term hydration and weightless cushiony texture. What the hell is matte?
Matte means that it's not shiny.
Oh. So, because what I figured, matte is like a color. What is matte?
Matte is a formula so that your lips look dry as opposed to shiny.
Gotcha.
There's glossy and then there's matte.
All right. Well, head to the nearest MAC location to meet your matte today or shop at maccosmetics.com. Check it out.